Hi, I'm Jack Hawkins and I'm a women's empowerment coach. And I'm here today on ESCP Chats. I'm going to introduce you to a very wonderful woman. 25 years in fashion, years spent building women's confidence and helping them feel good in their own skin. Amanda Mackenzie is one of the loveliest people I know, a woman who supports and empowers other women. And I'm honoured to say I've been on the receiving end of her kindness myself. She recently held an event for women in business, and I was gobsmacked at how many women turned up, alone or with a friend, just to support her. I heard story after story about where they'd met her: hospital settings, car parks, Pilates studios. It was crazy. In fact, we actually met when our sons were playing cricket. So women are drawn to her, including me. Our conversation went from superficial to deep within minutes when we first met, and I knew straight away she was my kind of woman. She's magnetic, charismatic, kind, and a beautiful soul inside and out. Amanda spent years caring for everyone else, faced extraordinary challenges, and rebuilt herself from the ground up. Now she's created ESCP, a new luxury wellness brand, helping women reconnect with themselves. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about today. Amanda Mackenzie, welcome.
Well, that's impressive. I like that resume.
All true.
Thank you very much.
Now, Amanda, you spent 25 years building a successful business in fashion. Can you tell us about your achievements during that time?
Well, Swish. If anyone here lives in Melbourne, they'll know of Swish. Swish began in my late 20s, mid to late 20s, after...
That would have only been a few years ago.
Yeah, only a few years ago. After I was retrenched from a role as a sales rep in the pharmaceutical world. And it was actually my hairdresser in the city, Con, who had said, why don't you go into fashion? There's a little store up here. It's for lease. Why don't you give it a go? And I'm like, great idea. I wasn't a real fashionista at that stage, but I knew all my friends were, and I thought this will work. So I started that, and I was in this CBD for 12 months, and then I moved the store to South Melbourne, and over the years it evolved into a store in Chapel Street, South Yarra, a store in Bentley. I had a store in Flinders Lane, and then as the years evolved, I evolved into an international evening wear label, which I sold into America and Australia-wide. So it was a long, long journey of over 20 years where I met so many women. And that's where I knew that I loved connecting with women. And I had some great staff members that had been with me for between 7 to 20 years. Wow. And I know, and I hope they're all watching. Hi. And in fact, you would go to the Melbourne Cup Day and you would see everyone was dressed by Swish before the internet. It was Swish, and then there was another major store in Melbourne as well, but probably one of the biggest independent retailers in Victoria at that time.
That's amazing. And you built that from scratch?
Built that from scratch with a whole maybe $2,000.
Wow.
I started.
And from my experience with you, you are a connector. That is one of your key strengths.
It is a bit of a superpower.
Yeah, it is a superpower. So while you were building this magnificent business called Swish and connecting with all these women, you were also a mother and a wife. How did you manage it all? How did you juggle?
Well, I was pregnant and I worked right through both pregnancies, gave birth at St. Vincent's Hospital, left the hospital, baby in arms, went straight back to work.
Yes.
No maternity leave. And I had some great staff who were already young mothers we would put my daughter Maya, we would put her in the change room for her 2 hours sleep and work around her. And when she woke, we'd take it in turns and we would walk her up and down the street.
That is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah, no, there was no rest for the wicked, as they say.
So did your clientele love having a baby in the store?
They did. And yeah, they did. And then the next baby came along and he was also in the store for a while, and then it got to the stage one. I think once your child gets to around that 9-month mark, you know that they can't really
Yep.
Yeah.
They run away.
They run
Or
away.
they
Yeah,
crawl
they crawl
away.
away.
Yeah.
So then they went into, early childcare. And then I spent a lot of time in China and America. And then I did the before care and the aftercare with nannies. It was quite hectic
I can imagine.
until it wasn't.
Yeah. All right. Until they went off to school perhaps, or even.
Yeah. Even before
juggle,
that.
yeah.
The juggle.
Yeah.
The juggle was a lot.
And the mental load as well, making sure there's always food in the fridge at home and the house is clean and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I was still cooking and I was doing everything. Yeah, and then I'd be in bed at 10 p.m. at night and I'd be maybe on my phone going, okay, what's coming up next season? What's selling the best? Which supplier do I need to get the next run from? Yeah, it was really hectic.
Hectic. Well, I think I've seen that you can manage hectic, so that's a superpower too.
Thanks.
So it hasn't all been sunshine and roses though. You've certainly had your fair share of life quakes, I like to call them, or life challenges. Can you tell us what happened when you hit 50?
Wow, 50. Wow, most people enjoy their 50s. It's been challenging. I was diagnosed with breast cancer 6 weeks after I turned 50. And in that whole 12 months, I'd separated from my husband. There was a massive betrayal there, which we can talk about if you want to. If we don't, we'll decide that. There was a massive betrayal. My father passed away, and then breast cancer came along, and the company I put into administration and tried to focus on my health. And so I had stage 2 breast cancer, where I had the book thrown at me, so to speak. A double mastectomy, had my ovaries out. What else did I do? Chemo, radio. I'm now on a hormone blocker for another 3 years. So that'll make it 10 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And the fact that you've been through that, here you are looking fabulous and showing up for women and being here and supporting everyone is incredible.
And you just keep going, right? And you just keep going. You say to yourself, okay, well, this has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get out of bed every day and then set small goals. And then so I've run 2 half marathons since, and I do reformer Pilates 5 days a week. If I don't get up in the morning and exercise of some sort, then the anxiety sets in. So I make sure that's an absolute priority in my life. But as you know yourself, having had a breast cancer as well, it's the most frightening thing that anyone can go through.
Yes.
And then throw in a divorce as well.
And that's not easy. And then that's not all for you. There's 2 things I wanted to pick up on there. One is that, yes, you were there when I went through it last year. You were the person I went to straight away and said, help me through this. What do I need to know? And I'll never forget the conversation we had when I said, why me? I was having a real sook after I just got out of hospital. And I'm like, why me? And you absolutely bitch slapped me with, can you remember what you said?
Yeah. Why not you?
Yeah, wow. That was enough
Why not
to
you? Because that's the thing, isn't it? We all think we're going to grow old and walk into a nursing home.
Yep.
So, why not you? Why not me?
And we should know better, because I've had 2 young friends die. One
that's so sad.
at uni and one like when I was working. So, so you know that, and me being a former coroner, you know that life is precious and any moment something can happen.
I know, and we do that. And then we still think, we know we're all going to get old and walk into a nursing home, which, by the way, do we really want to walk into a nursing home and live out our days there?
Yeah.
So
So
my
what is
motto is now we've got an infinite time on this earth, infinite time. And if whatever dream you've got, you've just got to go for it.
Great advice. So we talked about your life challenges, diagnosis with cancer and the cancer journey, and also a marriage breakdown. But you still had another massive life issue occur at the same time.
I did. So I'd started treatment, and I think from door to door, so to speak, at hospital, the end of my treatment was a double mastectomy because we did everything before that. And that same week, my daughter had come to me in year 9 and said, Mum, I have a lump on my throat. Year 9, 14 years old. So she'd been on school camp in Darwin, came home, Mum, I've got a lump on my throat. So I would nick her down to the doctors and we did a CAT scan and then we found out that she had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that same week that I was having the double mastectomy, we had that news. And so then we went down the road of chemotherapy for Maya and she's great now.
That's incredible. So how did you manage, how did you pick yourself up? I guess you didn't really have a choice, but how did you help not only yourself but your daughter through this?
You don't really know any different. You don't know any different. I was so full of rage. So not only did I not know what menopause was, I might just add that in when my oncologist said, well, the chemo will throw you straight into menopause. And I'm like, oh, that's just your period stopping, isn't it? Not knowing the 100 other things that it does. So I didn't know because my mother had never told me and she passed away quite young. So I was in this full amount of rage from the betrayal in my marriage, having had cancer, having had this great multi-million-dollar business, now gone into administration. My daughter's got cancer. Why? Why me? Why me? Why not me?
Yeah.
So
how did you get out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, walked the tan every single day, the botanical gardens. That's how I got out of bed and just kept saying, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. And then my poor daughter, she went through some challenges and she's asked me not to talk about those, but so that's fair. That's her story.
Yeah.
And so that was, and then all of a sudden 8 years goes by.
Amazing.
And it feels like to most people out there in the world that was a long time ago, but I feel like I'm just coming out of an 8-year cycle.
Wow, I can't even imagine living one day, let alone 8 years of all that.
Yeah, it's a long time.
How did cancer and having a mastectomy and the whole body changes and going into surgical menopause impact your confidence and also a marriage breakdown? How did it impact your confidence, identity, and future plans?
Well, the confidence, and if anyone's been through cancer or a major health battle, it absolutely knocks you for six. And I know this sounds awful to the wider world out there, but losing your hair was a major factor where I was in the shower and they did tell me between the 17th and the 21st day, your hair will start to fall out. And all of a sudden it was just in the shower and coming out in chunks. And then I just collapsed from there. And then I had to go down that road, build my own confidence because no one else was going to help me. I had a zero support base of family and my parents had passed away and my siblings were in the country. So I was on my own. So I had no husband. And then with my daughter as well, it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And the confidence, I feel like it was a big blur.
Yes.
Everything was a blur. Losing my breasts, and I had a major full reconstruction, I was okay with that. Once I got through that, I was actually okay with that. Losing my ovaries, I was okay with that. But it was all the aftermath.
Yeah.
That's when the breakdown happens because you tend to survive when you've got another doctor's appointment. You tend to survive all of that. But I did try a few different businesses that I thought I could do during COVID. But COVID, and I had a big presence in the United States because I used to do the trade shows in Las Vegas. I had a lot of contacts in the States. So I did do a brand and landed in the States, but COVID happened and it just shut down. You really need to be there to do a brand in the States. You actually need to be on the ground there, and I wasn't. So then I've just took another couple of years until ESCP came along. And then, so for any woman out there who knows, going through a divorce and you don't have a permanent partner and you might want a massager, and that's what I'm going to call it today. We all know it starts with the V word, and I don't know whether socials would shut this down when you talk about the V word. But I didn't have a partner, but I still had a bit of a sex drive. And so then I thought, who's doing the luxury market, the luxury design market? You know, that Mecca customer, who's doing that? And no one. That was all sort of a bit young and intimidating and a bit stainless steel, hot pink bunnies.
Having to go into a sex shop.
Yeah, and going to a sex shop and not luxury design. So that's when I thought, hey, I'm going to do this.
Amazing.
So that's where we are today.
Incredible. So tell us a little bit about your product, Escape. Which is the beautiful packaging here.
This is the beautiful packaging.
Love the colour of your packaging and your whole
It is very brand on trend, Pantone. And I started this journey 12 months ago with the sampling and have come up with a beautiful bedside book or a...
Would you like to just show us
Yeah. So
if someone was to order an Escape product, they get a beautiful package.
They get this beautiful package and it's in this like beautiful cotton linen and it's designed to sit by your bedside with a vase on top or a candle, whatever. And we do have a melting massage candle as a side. And this comes with a beautiful, can I open it?
It's your product.
Product. And what this is about confidence. This is about just a woman reclaiming their confidence. And then we have a beautiful external massager and a water-based aloe vera lube. And for the woman out there, and there is a lot of women out there, and as someone once said to me, it's dead down there. And she knows who she is out there. So that's a lot of women out there. So it comes as a beautiful package and we call it the Ritual. And then there's this beautiful colour too. In fact, I've got one down here. Here it is.
Can you explain what the Ritual is?
Well, the Ritual, I can explain it, but I won't go into detail because hopefully we'll all know that ourselves. But the Ritual is when do you have time for yourself? When do you, and the more women I speak to, when do you have time for yourself? Is it a Sunday afternoon, you run a hot bath? What do you do to make yourself feel good? Do you go to yoga? Do you watch a movie? Or what do you do for yourself? And it's like this taboo thing that our mothers or my mother never talked about. I was like a strict Catholic. But I know when I started toying with this idea, my daughter in her 20s, they were like, wow, Mum, that's so great. You know, and everyone I talk to now in their 30s, it's so common now.
It's an accepted conversation.
It's an accepted conversation.
Whereas our age group
our age
is like, do we ever have these conversations?
Yeah.
And I can say I haven't many. Yeah. This is probably my first, actually.
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we don't, is the nuns from back in the day or our mothers or, you know, but we don't, but it is becoming, well, it's more acceptable now. Like everything's acceptable now. So
do you think it was social conditioning and probably a religious factor as well that our age group just never really discussed these concepts about women's empowerment and basically the confidence that goes with that?
I think we're still a few generations away. Like my daughter, she probably, I don't know, she says she won't have children or...
so does mine actually.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's probably a lot out there. But I think the more and more women's empowerment groups and the more we're lifting each woman in a different factor, we're all supporting each other. Women are taking, I'd love to say women are taking over, and, you know, hopefully the equality is still less than 4 generations away. But the sexual part, you know, why can't women
have open conversations
have
about
open conversations and feel pleasure.
Sexual desire.
Yeah. Why do we feel funny about talking about it? Well, you and I don't. We just chat about it.
Yeah, I certainly did. I talked to you the other day and I said, Amanda, I'm really not used to having these kind of conversations.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? And I think once upon a time, maybe 5 years ago, I wouldn't have either.
Yep.
But now I'm like, well, hang on, this is something like that I never used to, and now I want to, and why wouldn't I? And then when my daughter was like, well, why aren't we all sexual positive? Why can't we? Why can't women? But we can. And just last weekend I was out with 6 or 7 girls in their early to mid-30s, and they were so excited, like absolutely so excited. And that's only a bit over 20 years, in age difference. Yeah. And I'm like, well, these girls, wow, it's amazing.
So where did they learn it from? If they didn't learn it from us, where did they learn this body confidence and positivity about sexuality?
I think it's just the changing times. It's just it's evolving.
Yeah.
We're all evolving, and women are getting stronger and more powerful, and we've got free speech, and we're just evolving. And why is it that men can talk about sex, but women can't?
Yeah.
But I think we are more and more. The more podcasts I'm listening to, the more I'm hearing it, and the more I'm seeing it, that women are sexually positive, and everyone wants a massager.
Yeah. And the more women like you that are coming out and making it a normal conversation, and saying that just because we hit a number like 50 something dot doesn't mean that we stop living, or we stop having desire, or we stop being human.
I've met women in their 60s that are like, oh, I've got a drawer full. I'm like, oh, great. What are they? I want to know more. What kind are they? And especially like for women who are feeling sexual and they don't have a partner, this is perfect because it's meant for your clitoris, and it's not so much an internal, pink bunny with ears, if you like,
And it is quite a beautiful looking product.
Oh,
it isn't one of those ugly things that you would see in a sex shop.
Yeah, I know. So it's very on trend. Speaking from the fashion world.
Yeah.
Very on trend, and it is a luxury intimate wellness item. And why can't we? And why can't we have luxurious intimate wellness? Why can't we?
I love that you ask the really pointed questions. Why can't we have this? We deserve it. Men take and do whatever they feel like doing.
Well, they do, don't they?
So why don't we? Why do we feel so guilty, or why do we not take ownership of this? So I am all for you and your product. I think it's incredible. So it's just been launched.
Yes.
Tell me about the process of development, the prototypes, the trialing.
Well, that was fun.
Do tell.
So there's a whole process. It's actually quite complicated.
Right.
It's like building a car.
Yeah, even though it's quite a simple
Yeah, it looks simple, but it's actually quite a toy that they call
friend
them.
or
they call it a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite funny, and made out of a beautiful medical grade silicone, and feel the quality of that.
Oopsie, sorry.
It's our little
display.
Our little display.
I was getting a little excited. It does feel quite soft and
yeah. So it's all about that.
Amanda, you talk about a ritual. Now, I don't need to know the ins and outs. I was going to say, get it?
I can tell you.
What did you perceive to be a ritual? So you say perhaps a bath, sort of put yourself into a mood that makes you feel relaxed. You suggest having it by the bedside table. What other things could a woman do as a ritual?
Well, I'm thinking, and I'll speak from a few women I've chatted to over time, and what they like and what they don't like is, I feel, okay, I'm going to talk about confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be going out on a Saturday night or on a date or a hinge date or whatever, and you might not feel confident. And if you take the Escape massager and use it with a bit of the lubricant, the aloe vera, I'll call it the lube. If you use it with that, because there is a lot of women out there that do talk about vaginal dryness, and that 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it takes you to have your big O, and you're at that door, that lift in confidence can change your whole night and your whole way. There is that saying, you look good, feel good.
Yep.
do you know what? If you feel good inside and you're out there and you're like, bang, I can take on the world.
Right.
You know, and this is what this was about for me, was to reclaim women's confidence at whatever age. You reclaim your confidence. So we can talk about the rituals, and there's women at every stage of their life that suffer some sort of vaginal dryness, hence why it comes in a book, bedside book with the lubricant. I've even heard of girls that actually take theirs out to nightclubs, which I don't know. That's probably not me, but anyway.
Okay.
Not that I go to a nightclub, but I feel a ritual. Yes, you talk about the candles in the bathtub, and
But the purpose of the ritual is to make you feel good.
It is. The purpose of the ritual is to make you feel good. And, you know, like, and why shouldn't we? Again, why? Why can't we feel good? To explore the ritual, you know, I've also got a Spotify playlist that you can play with your ritual if you're in bed and you're quiet, you got a glass of wine, you got your music playing, and you might not have children, or everyone's out for the night, or.
So could we attach that playlist to the caption perhaps?
Yes, we can.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, we can.
Is it on your website?
It is. It will be. Yes.
Great.
By the time this is on live, yes,
Excellent.
it will be.
Yeah.
So, and it's a beautiful playlist, but I think it's the ritual. It's women coming into their own, and I'm going to go back to going out on your own at night, and you might not feel confident in whatever you're wearing, or do you know, like, okay, you might change your wardrobe 10 times before you leave the door, and then you might say, I'm not going out.
I've done that before.
Right? I'm not going out.
Yeah.
But I could tell you, if that internal part of your body, it's like, what's the word? Your hormones released, or
The endorphins?
the endorphins.
Yeah.
That is the word, the endorphins. Your endorphins are released, like going for a 5K run.
Yep.
Right? And then all of a sudden you feel on top of the world, or after a yoga class or a meditation class or whatever takes your endorphins, bang, this is it. It's
Right.
your endorphin.
You need to make that the tagline perhaps.
It is. Hashtag endorphins. Who needs the 5K run?
So if a woman is in a relationship with a man or a woman, whatever, but I'm thinking of married people out there, how would they potentially introduce this little friend into the
Well, sometimes I think
relationship?
if you're in a long-term partnership and, men have issues as well, I loved this was part of the ergonomic design. And if the man's a bit floppy, if you can pop that up against the side, that makes a big difference too.
Okay.
Say no more.
Right. So it actually does the B word. It actually has a motor and an engine.
That's the B word.
The V.
Oh, the V.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Has 10 different speeds.
Wow. Okay. You talk a lot about choosing yourself as a woman. Why is that such an important message to any aged woman?
The women that I've met over my journey and having stores and events that I've done, I meet so many women that feel that they're not good enough.
It's me too. Yeah.
No, oh my God, I can't wait for your next story. I meet so many women that feel they're not good enough. And why aren't we good enough?
Yeah, why aren't we good enough?
Yeah, why do we feel that we have to take a step back?
That's right.
And why do we feel if the washing's not done or the cooking's not done that we're a less of a person, or we're not a good mother? Or why do we feel like, I've heard women say to me that, one woman had split up with her partner and she said to me, we were ships in the night, it's because I didn't give him enough sex. I'm like, that's not it at all. But that's what her thoughts were, and I'm like, why? Like, I'm hearing stories now where women don't want a man.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I'm educated now. I earn my own money. I don't need a man. So, and well, they don't. Anyway, we don't really. I don't know what to say to that.
So I guess that goes with your messaging of empowerment, and it's also what I talk about with my clients as well, giving them permission to not only find themselves again, but actually believe in themselves. So fully embrace the person that they are. And one of the wonderful things about aging as a woman is that we do get to the point of 50s going into 60s where we go, fuck it. Like I give less fucks about what anyone else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to live my life. Now, to get to that point is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm still transitioning from people pleasing, looking after everyone to I'm not quite at zero fucks yet. Do you think there is something about coming into yourself as an aging woman?
Yes, I think that for me, the more since the health issues and the betrayal in the marriage, that I feel, I don't know whether I can say I feel ripped off. I felt that I was working towards something my whole life because I knew, and I was on a different road. I don't know whether I'm off subject now. I was going down a different road to my husband.
Mm-hmm.
There was no communication, and that we were going to retire at 50 because Swish was doing so well, but there was a different page going on. Yeah. And I didn't know that page until I did. And then, the business I put into voluntary administration. But
the good thing about what happened to you is that you're not living in that past you that felt those emotions and betrayal. You're actually moving on. You have dusted yourself off. You have created a product that
mm-hmm.
not only empowers yourself but empowers other women. And you have used it. It's ignited you rather than diminished you.
That's the perfect word.
Ignited.
It has ignited me because I've always been, since I was 16 years old, I've always earned my own money.
And you can see it in your face. You can see
you.
it in the way you present and show up in the world.
Thank you. I've always earned my own money, and I see women out there that can't, and I feel that, look, the history's changing. History's changing, and our daughters and their daughters, like, they'll all be educated enough and they don't have to be a stay-at-home mother. And even the stay-at-home mothers now, they've got a little side hustle going on, which is great, because I think every woman should have a little secret bank account.
Yep. A running away account.
A runaway account.
Yep.
A runaway account. But this brand I did for me because I love connecting with women, literally love women, seeing women succeed, light up. And it's exciting. Like, we had that event a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And every single woman there was like, it wasn't scripted.
No.
And everyone just wandered and connected. And now we have this beautiful group of women who are all supporting each other, which we love. And then, hey, I know this person. Hey, I know that person. That's what I love. And you have to, obviously, I have a business to do that now. And I want to show my children that you just don't lay down and die.
Oh my God, I love that.
You don't lay down and die.
Yep. You could have. You had every reason under the sun to just get into bed and pull that doona up over your face and go, life is too hard.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing this. Oh, but instead, look at you.
Yeah, no lay down and die. Every time I go to the GP, not every time, twice a year, she'll write me a script for antidepressants. I'm not taking those. Because once you're on antidepressants, it's so hard to get off, and that's just another pharmaceutical, hence being an ex-pharmaceutical sales representative before.
Well, it's another way of controlling women, isn't it?
Oh, it's another way of controlling women.
I mean, if I think about my menopause journey, which has been long and hard, the amount of times I went to a GP and said, pulled out the shopping list of symptoms that I had, and they said, oh no, you're just a tired working mum. Here, have an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety. And I'm like, I've never suffered from either of those things. It's not that. And, you can scream blue till you're blue in the face. And I think it is changing now, where there are a lot of advocates and women's health experts that are coming out and speaking about menopause and empowering women, which is brilliant. But years ago it was just, take a pill and shut up, basically.
Oh, I can remember in my mother's day on her kitchen bench, and I didn't know what they were until 100 years later. So it was full of Valium. And that's what they were handing out back then, Mother's Little Helper. Yep. Here's a Valium. So they didn't know how to deal with women's bodies changing.
So we're in a much better position now than ever before.
Oh, and women can speak up, and we can have a vibrator, if I'm allowed to say it on air. But, we can do whatever we want now.
Yep.
And that's what I say to both my son and my daughter. You can do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Pick up, go and travel the world. If it's not right, what you're doing now, change it, because because we've lived 2 life-threatening diseases in our small household.
Yeah.
We know, just get out and do it. And I love that I've done this. I love that this is all centered around, it's not just sexual. It's just centered about women's empowerment and bringing back your confidence, because I don't know how I can stress it enough, and there's not a brand out there that I could find that is actually targeted at women's empowerment and women's confidence. I couldn't find it. I just can't find it. I sat on the internet and looked all around the world, Googled everything, went to Selfridges, went to Bloomingdale's, looked at them all, could not find it, But yeah, so here we are with my very first product, and and that's what this is about. It's not just about the sexual thing. It's about women connecting with the rest of the world and their bodies and feeling comfortable enough. You see the Bromley paintings and the naked women, and I just love those Bromley paintings. Yeah. If I could have a house full, I would.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're doing is completely inspirational. Like, you've actually inspired me to give myself a kick up the bum. And I love that you're supporting women, and I just think this is amazing. I think you're going to go big places. This is going to go international.
Yeah,
because your story and you're not just doing this to make money. You are doing this, and you can tell
it's a
your
movement
intention.
in a sense.
It's a movement.
It's a movement. Yeah, it is.
And
a bit
everyone
of a
needs to
movement.
get behind it.
Yeah, I think so. It is a bit of a movement, isn't it? I try not to cross my legs because of the whole hip issue, and trying to do the Princess Di Kate thing where they. Anyway, there is a reason for that.
The ankle tuck.
I think from the beginning of my life, I've always had something in me to create something. I grew up in the northern suburbs. I didn't finish high school. I don't want to use this word that you've used with me before, because it's another word out there that everyone uses, like the ADHD. But I didn't finish school. I couldn't concentrate. I went straight to the workforce, and my first job was in a health insurance company, which I still have a couple of those friends now 30 years later. And I loved it. But my first thing was, wow, I want to open up a laundromat. I want a bar and a laundromat and a coffee shop, and everyone can go in and do their washing and have music. And I wanted to call it My Beautiful Laundromat. I actually think there could be a movie called that now. Those were the things that I wanted to start quite young. So I always had that little bit of a entrepreneurial side.
Yeah.
And then, as a kid, I would sell Avon, knock on people's doors to make extra money. And then I did the paper round. And then there was always something in me. And then when I found Swish, and that was, what I loved, and I grew that for the next, 23 or so years, that I loved that. So there was always something in me. And then I just had what I'm going to call, I was just held back for the last 8 years.
Yeah. Well, you had a few things going on.
I had a few things going on.
Yeah.
And now
no one's stopping you doing it.
There's no one stopping me now.
You're
Nothing.
unstoppable.
Yeah, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
And yes, and this will go international, and yeah, it's unstoppable
I love the belief in yourself.
You have to, because one day you could just, as you know, we've had that scare. One day we're not going to be here one day. So why wouldn't you do it while you are? Do you want to be that 85-year-old woman being wheeled into a nursing home after a stroke, if you're lucky enough to make it to a nursing home, and then you'll lay there and go, why didn't I do that? If only I did that.
Yeah.
You know, why didn't I pack up my bags and move to an island? Why didn't I start that business I thought of 30 years ago?
No regrets.
Yeah, you just don't want any regrets. And that's perfect, Jackie. No regrets.
No regrets. So I, once again, just love what you have to say about all this. So if you were to speak to your 50-year-old Amanda self, what would you say to her? I mean, you've kind of proven it, but what would you say to her? When she's on her knees at the pits of despair, life's sort of fallen apart.
What I would say to my 50-year-old self 8 years ago is put all your trust in yourself. Just trust your gut. And I know that people bang on about trust your gut, trust your gut. It's just a word that comes a sentence. But actually trust your gut. And if you feel that you want to do that business or you want to travel the world, just do it. Just absolutely pack up and do it.
Just do it.
Just in the Nike words, just do it.
So another question I have about that is for those women that are going, yeah, fair enough. Like it's all very well for you, but how do you know to trust your intuition?
Well, you don't. You just do it. And then you find out. And then you go, okay. And there was a podcast I was listening to with Oprah, and I can't remember who the person was. It may have been Carla Harris. And I say this to my son right now, just one day, just every day get up and stir the soup. So just do one thing that takes you that next level. And then I have days that I doubt myself and then have a cry and go, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. No, Amanda, yes, it is going to work. You doubt yourself a little bit and then you go, no, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And then you learn a little bit more. Then listen to someone else's podcast. And if she can do it, why can't I do it?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yep.
If she can do it, why can't I?
It's a great motto.
It is a really good motto.
You've given us a few pearls of wisdom,
Oh,
which
okay.
very grateful for. Okay. Everyone's at Amanda Mackenzie's funeral. Sad. It'll happen though. Weirdly,
It will happen.
we all die.
We all die.
What do you want them to say about you?
Well, I've actually thought about this, and you probably have too. So
Yeah,
when
it's
you,
a great
you know,
exercise.
Yeah.
When you face death,
when you face
you
death,
do think of these things.
So you do think about these things, and I think I have actually spoken about this with my daughter, who has funeral songs that I've never heard of, but obviously her choice.
Yeah.
I would like people to say, "Fuck, she gave it a good go."
Yep.
Right.
Do you want that on your headstone?
Yes. Yes. She gave it a good go. Didn't miss a beat. Didn't, you know, like, do you want to sit through life as a passenger or do you want to be in the driver's seat?
Brilliant.
You know, that's sort of it, isn't it?
They're definitely going to say that.
Yeah.
At your.
You want to sit in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that probably could never go on air, but they'll be talked about at the funeral. You know, of course.
I've got a few.
And there will be a lot of laughters.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs.
And the wake?
Yes.
What will they be doing at the wake?
Yeah, drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about how wonderful you were.
Yeah. We talk about, there'll be a lot of stories that probably, would be a lot of laughs. There's a lot of a wild side of Amanda that a lot of people know about. And most people around me that know me, there's a wild side.
There is, but there's also a soft, gentle,
Yeah.
compassionate kind
Compassionate.
side. Yeah.
And I just actually, remember the event when we stood up there and I welcomed everyone, and then I got down off the podium and someone said to me, "You forgot to tell everyone about what you do." And I'm like, oh, damn. Because I genuinely wanted to see everyone connect, and the Escape product obviously I need it to work to survive, but I want to see every woman get out there and do their hustle and do their side hustle. I really want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great.
Yeah.
Great advice.
If all of us women actually support each other, we can go places.
Yeah, we can.
Mm.
Yeah, I do believe that.
In the words of Dr. Seuss, isn't
Yes,
it? We
the
can
places
go
we can go.
The places we can go.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Is there any parting thing that you'd like to say to the listeners or the watchers today, people watching today?
DM me if you want a coffee, and I'm there.
Or
oh yeah,
one of these.
Yeah, online. Use a little code new20. Yeah, and I genuinely, there's been women out there that have messaged me on Instagram, and I've said, "Would you like coffee? I'm around."
Great.
You know, if like honestly, it's sad because there is a lot of women out there going through something and
they don't share.
And
they're lonely.
And they're lonely.
Yeah.
And we're desperate for connection. All of us women, we're so desperate for connection.
That is the word.
And you feel it. Do you feel it like you might walk through a door and a woman might hold the door open and they'll go, "Hi," you know.
They're eager to talk.
Eager.
In fact, didn't it happen to you on the street just before?
Oh, it did.
You were driving past?
Yes, and I had the door open. I was trying to put my shoes on and she's like, "Oh my God, I love your suit." You know.
How beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And that's connection. Women want connection.
That's what you do well.
Thanks.
That's your superpower.
Thanks, Jackie.
Best of luck with Escape.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you and I think you're going to smash it.
Thanks. I'm excited. If you want to connect with me, so you can connect with me through the website, it's www.myescp.com or Instagram, myescp.com. My phone number or DM me because I literally am running all of this. And I honestly believe as a founder, you need to hear from me, not an assistant, not a virtual assistant overseas. You need to hear from me. So please DM me. And if you want to buy my Escape, use the code new20 and get a 20% discount. And yeah, thanks.